Open
Yes.
to see the call.
Okay, so praise it's a boy, Alan TV, and Miguel B for all the hard work we're doing in the upcoming animation video. Also, I'd like to praise Gideon, Anti, Momanu, Richa, Bear, IRM for all your contributions with the Gitcoin grants around 15 and all your help drafting tweets and all this stuff. It's the first time I see Anti in real life. And I like to praise Nate because he's hosting a lot of calls these past weeks. And also, I like to praise NT, Malmanu, Chuy, Miguel, Efra, Bear, for all your contributions in camp and all your help helping restructuring the working group. And with that, I'll pass it to Gideon.
Awesome. Thanks, Acid Laser. Oh, geez, I wasn't even muted. Okay. So praise Irem for the tremendous initiative and leadership that she's showing on so many fronts, especially in Communitas. Praise to Bear for his thoughtful approach that he always brings in solving problems. And praise Tam for her wise counsel and unflappable nature. Praise Risha for the rigor and drive and initiative that she's showing in project managing the curation service. I want to praise Enti for being able to see his face today. Awesome. And for his willingness to help on so many fronts, particularly around keeping the community's tooling working. It's just been super helpful. And then I want to praise Libya for her ability to look through into the heart of our problems. So I'll pass it to Costa.
Thank you, Gideon. I'd like to praise Irem for taking on so many responsibilities in the Communitas working group. I'd like to praise Gideon, Bear 100, and Enti on their insight on the Discord cleanup that we're planning on doing. And praise Enti for proposing to help with the orientation calls. And I'll pass it on to Tam.
I am so rusty. I am not prepared. We do praise in the beginning of this, don't we? Okay. So I'd like to praise those who showed up for the Stewards Council today. So Gideon, Wonka, Nate, Zep, Durgadas, Bear, Enti, Rather Mercurial, and Max. I'd like to praise Irem, Enti, Bear, Rusha, because even though we haven't worked together much, I feel like I keep seeing your names appear everywhere, and I think that's very cool. I'd like to praise Wonka, because I really liked what you said today in the council about looking outside, and I really think that's something that struck with me. I'd like to praise Neat for all of the thinking that you're doing around the transformation and our collaborations together. I'd like to praise Gideon because you're holding so much, and it feels like when we have our one-on-ones, it's usually a little late for me, but I also don't want to stop. So this is a testament to how great they are and how inspiring they are. And I'll pass to Irem.
Praise to Edu for being an amazing steward and mentor, and for also guiding me and Costa as he transitions into his full-time job and as we take on some responsibilities. Praise to Enti and Bear for joining content creation brainstorm sessions always and sharing their very well framed and they much needed ideas. Praise to Ace Laser and Gideon for drafting tweet threads this week to promote our Gitcoin grant. Praise to Richa for taking a lot of initiative with content curation service. Praise to Enti for surprising us and delighting us with his open camera today in the Sampo call. And praise to Rather Mercurial for joining the Sampo call and giving a lot of great feedback on community signal or content curation. And I'll pass it to Zept.
Thank you, Rem. Yeah, I want to give praise to Mateo for all the work during the summer on the advanced page, ABC advanced page. It's really looking impressive. I want to give praise to Mitch for coordinating the reward board and stewarding in the reward working group. I also want to give praise to Mitch, Tam, Griff, and Lauren for the great bonding adventure in the desert. I want to give praise to Rex for figuring out, he's trying to figure out how to get the bot recording. I want to give praise to Gideon for a great talk about Sampo transparency things. And I want to this praise to Abby for monthly updating on the decision taking shit. And I'll pass it to Nate.
Thanks, FT. Yeah, I want to praise Richa and Irem and Inti and Bear for all their work in Sampo. I want to praise Gideon for just holding it down in so many different ways these past couple months. I want to praise Tam for returning and helping us guide us through the steward transformation process. I want to praise Zepti for all of your feedback and your constructive criticisms when it comes to difficult issues within this community. And I also want to send praise to Wonka for all your hard work within Gravity. You've really done an amazing job over there, and I don't think you get enough spotlight. And I want to just make sure that you get that praise big time. So thank you for that work. I will pass it over to Wonka. Have you gone?
Thank you, Nate, and thank you for your kind words. Yeah, I would also like to praise Acid Laser, Bianca, Durgadas, Contessa, Chewy, Nate, Septimus, Innovator, Nicola, Creatix, Irem, Tamara, Mert, Patty, Incandenza, Ata, Didan, and Livia. For supporting Gravity in multiple ways, either creating and publishing content, supporting coordination, taking cases, working on website and narrative, giving advice process, helping us on the next proposal drafting, giving ideas, and all their guidance. So, yeah, thank you all. And I'll pass it to Angie. Okay.
Andrew, are you there? If you
Then
are, we can't hear you.
I'll pass it to Enti, and Angie can unblock her mic at any
Sounds good.
point.
Well, thanks. Well, I want first of all to praise everyone at Sampo, especially Bear, Gideon, Idem, and Risha. I feel like we've done a pretty amazing job, and there's a lot of things to come. Irem again and Irem and Risha again. Irem for Communitas, and both of them just they have been for a very short time, but feels like years already. The comms team, so as Laser, Manu, Chewy, and all the others for all the work they're doing, especially now that there are a lot of big changes going for the working group. Manu and Chewy for a very successful tour space about talking engineering in Spanish last week. I want to also mention Nate, Tam, and Levy for all their leadership and all the work they do for the whole TEC. And everyone here for joining this week's community call. I'll pass it over to who hasn't gone yet. Costa. I think he went.
I already went.
Yeah, so yeah. Pass to
Mari?
Marcos Leros. Oh, Maddie's good, yeah.
Okay.
Maddie, do you have any praise to give? All right.
Oh, hey guys, sorry. This is my first time here, so not too much, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just in general, thankful to be here and learn more about the community.
Well, if you'd like to, we take this time right now to praise anybody. If you want to praise anybody who introduced you to the community, got you to where you are now, or any praise in general, please do so.
Yeah, especially Yig Anderson. I don't know, like that's YGG Anderson is his name. That's mostly what I know him by. He was proactive in reaching out to me and introducing me to the community. So a lot of thanks to him for that.
All right, thank you for saying that. We'll go ahead and pass it over to Marcos Leros.
Hey, how are you? I'm here just to listen. I can talk now, but to want to listen. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no worries. And we'll pass it over to Miguel B.
GM, my praise goes to all the animation team for all the advances of this week. I think the animation it's looking very cool. It reminds me the 1990s cartoons on Cartoon Network. Also, Chewy, Manu, Sid Blaster, Enti, for all the working groups, restructuration, and yeah, I don't know. We haven't passed yet.
I think we got one left, and that's Elzentino.
That's me. Yeah. Hi. This is my first time joining here, so I would like to prize Acid Laser to help me to join the community. Also, I would like to prize Edu, who gave me the onboarding session. And yesterday, I joined the Gravity Call, and Juan Bell and also Durgadas explained me what Gravity does. So I would like to prize them.
Thank you. Yeah. I think we have two people that just joined. We have Alan TV. Do you want to do praise?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I want to praise to animation team, Itria Boy, for the amazing work, and Acid Laser and Miguel Bayon. And I don't know who is missing.
We have Rather Mercurial.
Okay.
Generally, thank you all very much for being so welcoming. I'm here just to kind of learn and do some research for some other DAOs, but I appreciate you all being so warm and welcoming. This is a great community, and I wanted to give some praise to Gideon and Yerem for facilitating the Sampo meeting that just happened and the breakout session from it. That was really great. Thank you.
And we have Rohel Benitez. Right, are you there? Would you like to give some praise today? All right. I'll give you a countdown to 5, Rohek Benitez. If you're there talking, you are on mute. We're just giving out praise. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. We will move on. All right. So we're going to turn on our videos, say hello, say cheese, everybody. Take this photo real quick. If you get a chance to turn on your video, show your beautiful faces. Yeah, there's the beautiful community. All right, we'll take a photo and done. All right, thank you, everybody. So let's get this community call started. Our vision. So we're going to start off with our vision. We enable the creation of ethical, safe, resilient, and diverse economic systems to benefit societies around the world. We take a very serious stance in making sure that we have a strong lovey-dovey community. And that means understanding that conflict occurs. So if you see any type of friction or, breaking of that fabric within our community, we do have our Gravity working group led by Wonka. And they have this type form, which we rely on a lot. So if you see anybody having any type of friction, somebody getting somebody's name wrong, the starting of some type of conflict, this is the place where you can provide this information. And we have a dedicated group of people who are trained in conflict management and nonviolent communication that will go in and attack this thing before it becomes a problem. This is a key thing for us in our community, and so we encourage you to use it. And so that is one aspect of it. This is another one, is our decisions. Decisions happen after advice process. So before making any type of decision within your working group or autonomously, we want to discuss them with the people who will be affected by the decision and the experts on the topic. And so if you find that yourself, that you've answered those questions with the experts and the people and the stakeholders, then please, go ahead and execute it. If you have some type of ambiguity around that decision making, it's always good to post it in the forum and follow the advice process that we have set out within this community. If you have any questions regarding the advice process, please feel free to reach out to a steward or a more experienced community member that's been here for a while, and they can direct you. So if anybody has any questions about that, right now we have Rock the Vote. There are currently a couple of items within our gardens. I don't think we have anything within our snapshot. Currently we have our retroactive funding for the servers, which please, if you have time to support, please put your tokens behind that. We have retroactive funding for the swag shop expenses, the Hatch and ECC 2021. And we also have the compromised wallet proposal. So creating a new permission granting disputable voting for the ability to perform revoke vesting on a particular address. So this is just to help out one of our community members who had their wallet compromised and is having tokens stolen from them. So we want to protect that from his TEC tokens being consumed. So if you get a chance, if you have tokens, all of you token holders, please place your thoughts and support behind one of these proposals. We're going to start off with our working groups. I will be covering the Community Stewards working group provision of this one, community call. We have our weekly syncs on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. CET. On our minds this week, we have our Sprint 40 that we went through. We go through our Sprint board here through our Zen Hub. This is where we coordinate all of our activities. So if you want to see what we're up to, what's going on, what's in the works, this is the place to visit. We have several different steward working calls each week. We have our stewards weekly every Tuesday, our split planning every other Friday, and our sprint retrospective every other Thursday. We also have our stewards council every other Thursday, which happened today, and it was a very good call. So thank you for everybody who participated in that today. Next slide is our community stewards. What's on this? We have our stewards council. Today we talked about radical simplification and what it means to be reducing complexity within this community. We discussed working group structures and moving forward, and we discussed the new curation service that is being spearheaded by the Sampo working group, which you'll learn a little bit more about later on today. During our stewards weekly call, we discussed what's on the stewards' minds this week. We talked about implementing the new steward structure, the roles of stewards advisors, and adjusting to a new pace. And so these are all kind of the topics that we have on our stewards' mind. All of our community stewards calls are open to the public. So if you have any interest in participating in these higher level conversations, we highly encourage you to come and participate in those. And of course, public service announcement. This is a huge thing for us. We want to support our comms team. We want to support this community. And so Twitter retweets are a huge benefit to us when we retweet it. So if you have time to include this within your actionable day-to-day items, please do retweet some Token Engineering Commons material. With that, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to the Gravity Working Group and Wonka.
Thank you, Nate. Well, in the Gravity Working Group, for the people who is new, what we do is that we try to raise awareness and competence regarding conflict management skills in DAOs. And we were born as, and we are still a working group of the TEC, but now we are trying to expand our coverage and to offer some of the toolings and the frameworks we've developed to support other DAOs to gain the same competence that this community has, where we talk about normalizing conflict, where we give skills and tools of how to manage a conflictive situation, where we make role plays and train on nonviolent communication. So all this is a really interesting area that we'd like to cover, and each time we go with new topics and new focuses that are interesting. For example, we are also deep diving on what is mental health and how is the mental health of people working in Web3 projects. For that, we have a survey done by Bianca and Anna that you can all feel. Also, we just finished the third Graviton training, that is our certification program for that is basic skills for working in Web3 projects. It's not only to be a mediator, but to learn skills that you can apply on your everyday interaction with other people. And yeah, we are right now focusing on creating more content and continue carrying this flag and taking this message to new communities. So if you are participating in other community and you would like us to participate there or to give a talk, just DM me. Also, we had these Twitter spaces last week that were super, super interesting. We talked about welfare at work in Web3 and a really interesting discussion around expectations. What are the expectations from a contributor entering into a DAO? And also, what are the expectations from the DAO towards their contributors? What are some of the differences between traditional and Web3, and some of the things that we all experience in this environment where it's fast moving. We don't have like the same security than in traditional working environments, but at the same time we are super free. We have agency to do whatever we want to do, and it's a beautiful space. So yeah, you will enjoy this Twitter space. Besides that, on Wednesday we have our regular coordination call, and we're also working on a narrative for a website that we're designing. All that is on Wednesdays. And Fridays, meaning tomorrow, we will have a second proposal drafting session, because until now we've you made good use of the funds that we received from the TEC, but we are also now thinking on how would be the best way to continue asking funds to the space to continue running and growing. And yeah, all of you are invited. We also have our Gitcoin profile and a Give It profile where you can donate. And we are right now on the case number 28 in our registry of cases. So slowly but steady, we continue managing conflict in the space. And I just want to say hi to Marcos, who is new to this call, and he is from Kleros, and we had a call last week where we tried to find common ground between the TC and Kleros, and mostly between education and research. So yeah, with that, I end this update from Gravity. And I think that Livy is not coming for Soft Cup, but I don't know if someone wants to take it.
We have any takers? All right. So yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Juanca, for your words.
Oh, yeah. So SoftGov is one of our working groups. It's stewarded by Livia. They have weekly syncs on Wednesday at 1 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. CET. They've been really focused on this area of the TEC token holder sentiment analysis recently, and developing the first TEC vision board. So if you're interested in these types of social governance issues, this is a really great working group to kind of get introduced into. And I would highly encourage you to reach out to Livia, one of our stewards here in the TEC, and really just kind of engage with her on what type of initiatives that they have upcoming next. Right now, they've been highly focused on this token holder sentiment analysis that we've prepared from our Polis survey. So if this is something that's interesting to you, I would highly suggest you attend this meeting on Wednesdays. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it to the next one, which is going to be Communitas.
Awesome. Hi. So Edu is leaving us soon, and for that reason, me and Costa will take on the responsibilities during this transition period. And the idea is that Communitas will either resolve as a working group, or we'll see how it goes. But for now, we'll just be sharing work amongst each other. And orientation call will now be alternating bi-weekly with the community call. And again, with the absence of Edu, now me and Costa will be taking over for that. But I would actually really appreciate if for the next 1 week or two, if any stewards or someone who's been in the TC for a little longer could give us a hand and help in. Like if you have any time, that would be really appreciated. Just for 1 or 2 weeks of, support on that. The new working group time, the sync is going to be Monday, 7 p.m. CT. Also, we're right now reorganizing a bunch of Discord roles and channels. I've reached out to a few people and from working groups and asked whether they need some roles that seem to not being used anymore. And if you have any ideas on that, if you know of certain rules that we don't need anymore, please let us know. Also, in terms of Discord channel reorganizing, we discussed in the last sync that maybe channels on their community section like general announcements, amplify ideas, and lounge could all just converge into one single channel just to decrease the noise a little bit and yeah, just simplify all those channels. Again, please let me know if you have any ideas, objections on those. What else? Yeah, and now we're having some conversations around community offering, how we'll implement that, and for membership and also other space badges. NT and Bear are helping quite a bit with those. And yeah, next working sync, we'll be speaking more of those. So if you, again, want to bring any ideas, come over on Monday. That's all.
Thank you, Nora. Appreciate that, and appreciate you and Costa taking up the burden of Edu's vacancy at the moment. So thank you so much for filling those shoes, and you're doing a wonderful job. And the next working group that's going to be covered is going to be the Sampo working group. Passing it over to you, Gideon.
Thanks, Nate. Okay, so hey, I want to start off. I'm going to share a link in our chat here on this call. This is to our Gitcoin grant. So maybe pop this up in a tab, and don't do it right now because, you know, we're in a call. But afterwards, if you can participate, we've got basically just like another, 8 hours, and then the Gitcoin round 15 ends. And we actually made some good progress this time around. And as a community, we're just learning about how to organize around this. Like for people who are not familiar with the way Gitcoin works, it's basically this really cool matching program where the more participation you have from like the bigger the pool of people who are actually participating, it's very democratic, the more of the matching that you get. So even if you just give like, you know, a little bit, really does help. And I think it just it's kind of like it's like a good boost for the TEC. So if you get a chance, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Just it does take a little bit of time, maybe 10 minutes. That would be great. Okay, so the thing I really want to focus on today is this new curation service that the TEC is going to be rolling out. First thing I should say is that we're still working on the actual name, and so that will be something that will be finalized in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be talking to the community about that. The focus of this service. So what does it do? Like, why are we doing this? I'll explain how it works and what it is in a little bit, but the basic idea is we're developing with some partners, and those partners are it's called a group that's called the Common Sense, which is made up of some folks from the DAO Stack and Tangible AI. And what they're helping us to do is create like a common service for focusing the community's attention using curation. So basically what it will do is you'll be able to come with interesting links and share them in a new section in the TEC Discord. And then as other people interact with those links and those posts, it doesn't just have to be a link. It could be, you could just post original content there. As people interact with that through emojis, that will serve as a signal that then we will be using a Discord bot to aggregate and then serve as kind of the way of showing what the community cares the most about. We'll then be using that information to help us to highlight really like articles and things, like it might be research, could be lots of different things, it might even be memes that the community finds interesting. And then we'll use that as fuel for posting some really cool and interesting and very engaging tweets for TEC's Twitter account. So the goal for this in the short term is to inject some more energy back into the community by attracting some new members, engaging them in some really easy ways. These are not hard asks. This is like, we've been looking for a while for like some simple ways for people to get involved. This is a great way for people who are just getting started in the community to engage and really help us find interesting content that will help build the field of token engineering. And serving, so attracting, engaging, and serving the real stakeholders of this community, which are the people who have a stake in the future of token engineering. I'm going to share the screen right now because actually I'm going to share my screen, and I'm also going to put another link in here, which is to this forum, which is a new section of the Discord server. And I'm now going to walk you through it. So when you get a chance later after the call, maybe you can go and play around with this yourself. But here's the way that this works. So you come in and as Irem said, we're going to clean up this community section here. So this will pop a little bit more. But right now, if you come into the community signal, that's just the working name right now. You can see a bunch of stuff that people have already started sharing in here. And you can also see at the top that we've got these are just kind of placeholder categories. If you click on token engineering, you can see how very quickly this just sorts it or filters it based on just those articles that are about token engineering. This is DAOs. You can even do governance and DAOs. Well, there's not one for that, but if we did like governance and token engineering and DAOs, you can see that it applies double filters. You can also do things like you can search for things like if I wanted to look up token spice, boom, it's just pretty quick. It's pretty quick for finding lots of interesting content. When you go into, I'm going to just clear this. When you go into this, and here, this is a post that's about, I'm going to scroll up so you can see what this actually looks like when you click on one of these posts. You can see the original share here. So this was about this new forum feature that's in Discord. And you see that this is much more like this is less like Discord. And you know how hard it is to carry on meaningful and focused conversations because it's just like there's this constant stream of new stuff. Some of it may be related to an article that was shared. Here it's just like puts it all into one place. So you can have a much more focused conversation about whatever it was that you're sharing here. As people are interacting here with the emojis, as you can see, this is the thing I'm talking about. All of this data will be then taken out of the forum by this bot, and it'll be aggregated, and then we'll be putting those as the kind of the next step into an Airtable, basically a database that will then highlight all of the community's like all-star content, like the greatest hits of the TEC. And what we do with that as a first step is, like I said, to fuel some really interesting tweets and recognize the contributors, the people who are contributing this content, to help kind of spread and build some more engagement on Twitter. What we do with it in the future, we've got a bunch of exciting ideas. We'll talk about those in a future call. For right now, what I would say is you can start playing with this right now. There's a link that I shared on the call in the chat. You can go into this forum feature in Discord and start playing around with it. Don't worry too much about making mistakes. We can delete stuff if you share something that you don't want to. But just really play around. We'd love to get your feedback on it. You can post your feedback and drop a note in the Sampo channel. This is last thing I'll say on this is that this is our chance to start to bring some more energy back into the TEC, and by engaging, like really shifting our focus outside and bringing in the stakeholders who are so important to the long-term success of this community. So we're going to need everybody's help in making this thing succeed. So you can start by just playing around with it and giving us. All right, with that, I'll stop and hand it back to you, Nate. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this, and it's going to be a good way to cultivate the community around this service. And so if you're excited about it, I think I'm going to try and start to host curation parties. So I'll let everybody know on the dates on that. But right now we're going to pass it over to the Omega Working Group. I think Soul Sister just arrived, so pass it over to you.
Hello. Could someone share for me or? Yes, 1 second.
Currently sharing.
Perfect. So we're back from long summer break, and we'll be meeting every Wednesday again, 8 p.m. CT. After the summer break, we basically I proposed a new consolidated direction, which basically sums up what we have discovered in token engineering ethics, participatory research. I don't know if people have followed and participated. I think they did. We had 2 new focus groups led by social scientists, one on TEC value systems and one on private profit versus common benefit. Their analysis and publications will be available to us and in the wider community also in October. And that's basically our third. In general, we have 3 focus groups, and what we do value is this observation of the token engineering ethics and ethos that the T Commons provides the selling point for, right? And we would love, as the Omega Working Group and people active in it, would love to provide a space for researchers to host such focus groups in the future as well. And another thing that we realize is the token engineering ethics, the principles that we have been discovering, all pointing, surprise, surprise, all pointing to one aspect, and that is self-sovereignty. Right, and self-sovereignty, not just in technical terms, your keys, your coins, but also in terms of leadership and finding direction. I think that's what brought us all to Omega. So that's something we want to explore in the next working group call. And that's maybe what I said, but new, but consolidated. And so that the focus groups gave us that focus. And the Token Engineering Consciousness Library, of course, as mentioned, the one initiative that came out of the working group and got funded, that continues. And it's quite interesting because it's a community curation on resources from the crypto economics flower across all petals that puts forward the transdisciplinarity of this field, and in the experience, in the user experience of the library, should enable us to build better connections through curation. That fits very well with the current project on curation that Sampo working group has identified. And definitely we will also have Gideon join and explain better. And it would be fantastic if the Conscience Library could be such a use case on the tooling, on the platform. Yeah, these will be, I think, we will be alternating now. The ethics next working group call, and after that, October 5th, Gideon will be joining and we'll work on the Conscience Library and how to implement that. That's it. And with that, I'll pass it on to Chui, Comms Working Group.
Yeah, so Acid Laser is going to be taking this one. So yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Well,
thank you,
in communications, thank you, Nick. In communications working group, we met every Tuesday for the regular comms call, and in Mondays we're having the marketing, Twitter, and animation syncs for the current projects. So we are doing a lot of stuff in comms, and there are happening many things now. The first one is the bye-bye to the teams. it was a good project. This thing of the teams, we learn a lot of things, good things and bad things that we need to improve. But we get a lot of new contributors, very valued contributors, and we are very happy for that. But for now, we need to say goodbye to the teams. Um, and so for that, we're doing some changes, and comms is evolving. So in the calls that we're having these weeks, we're going to discuss about the comms future, uh, about the new organization, the workflow, how are we gonna work, about the contributors and all the stuff. So if you want to join us and help us decide, give us some feedback about the new comms evolution, feel free to do it. So in the current projects that we have in comms, we have the animation and video production. If you want to see some updates of the upcoming quantifier tutorial video, uh, all the updates are in the animation channel in the thread in comms. We're very happy with that project because all the advances are looking pretty good these past weeks. Also in marketing, they are working in the newsletter number 8. If you aren't subscribed to our newsletter, you can do it in the TEC website in the bottom of the page. Just enter in your email, and bi-weekly you will have a newsletter in your inbox. Also in Twitter planning, we reached 5K followers. So thank you so much for everyone who retweets, who like us, and keep spreading the token engineering word to the Web3 space and your friends and your family and all people you want. And also, we have some hours left for the Gitcoin Grants 15. So if you want to support Token Engineering Commons, your help will be very good for us. In our Twitter, we have some threads explaining this round's mission, and also a little tutorial on how to support if you don't have a GitHub account or if you have one. And that's it for comms, and I'll pass it to Septi.
Thanks, Acid Laser, and congrats for the 5K. Let me share my screen. Okay, on transparency, we meet every 2 weeks on Monday at 5 p.m. CET. So basically, like after summer break, we were doing this Aragon project. Like this dashboard was built by that you already see. That project was this was built by General Magic. And then Juanca was hosting some param parties on Aragon, which was great. And then Aragon community was being benefit from the knowledge we create in the token engineering commons. And for that, this Aragon send us 1K to the TC for 2 weeks. Was some hours of work. And then we were paying Juanca for his service. And all the links are here. He was working 3 hours. The agreement was $35 an hour. Then I sent also some money to the Transparency multisig because Transparency was paying me for doing work, and I was focusing work on Aragon. So that's the first thing. And then the rest we send it to the common pool, which is like 400 DAI. It's not a lot, but at least it's the first income that's not coming from the ABC, neither Gitcoin. So I think that's cool. And then the other thing happened in the summer. Mateo is a rock star. Huge praise. He was actually building the ABC advanced page is getting shape. There's some things we're still working on, like this chart. We need to deploy the graph. So right now, it's there, the design, but it's not working. But this thing is actually the mint price when you try to mint new TC. So you can see the story. So if someone buys 30 DAI, then he will get 20 TC. But then you can also see how much money is going to the common pool, how much money is going to the reserve. We will see like the new mint price in the future. I mean, it's something we're still working on, but the page is already in shape. Probably like we're aiming to send an MVP probably next week for Q&A, and maybe like we can, like the idea is like get something on the page like before like Mateo goes out on TEC Connect on Colombia. So at least we give to the community, we share the product, and then if we want to, upgrade the page to something else, we can always like make a second version. But then at least we can show like the first version. We also need to change here. Like right now, it's like sending like the last price, but we want to see like the whole chart. Then this red line will be on the price. But all those things, like Mateo's already working on them, and yeah, I'm very excited for that. And yeah, and then yeah, I mean, I didn't put it there, but we will have to make a transparency proposal for 2 months. Like, will be September and October. Right now, like we are like we are out of money to pay. Like we have like money for the ABC page. This is like there, but then we also agreed to the community to don't touch more money than it's asking from General Magic. So the money that General Magic is not asking, like we will send it back. And then we need as money for September and October. Meanwhile, the TC is also evolving to the new structure. So probably like we can do it during the next week and then make a proposal. I mean, I'm not in a hurry. Like we can pay mostly like everyone, so it's fine. But yeah, we need to make a proposal. And with that, I'll pass it to, I don't see Mitch. I'll pass it to Nate.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. The ABC Advanced page looks amazing in terms of building trust and making sure we have kind of transparency around when I go to purchase TEC directly from the bonding curve. That is an unbelievable tool to have. So great work on that, Zepti, and project managing that through. So the next working group, Mitch is not here. Not sure if anybody else here is comfortable taking it. I'll give it a second just to give the opportunity. Nobody. Okay. So the rewards working group is weekly sync every week on Wednesday at 11 a.m. EST, 17 CET. The steward is Mitch, who is currently doing an amazing job with our reward system. So the rewards for June, part 2 in July are out. Source cred rewards distribution is ongoing for the moment. Round 17 has been quantified. And then the reward distribution for late activators is imminent. So you want to make sure you activate your Praise account. So if you don't know how to activate, we have this / activate your Praise account to get rewards. Make sure you do that, especially if you're new to the community and maybe not aware of our Praise and reward system. Every time you dish praise, we have praise quantifiers that come through, and they quantify each praise that is dished out. And so it gives it a relative score based on their impact. And what we do is we aggregate all that information, and we have a rewards distribution of TEC tokens that rewards our contributors based on social praise and social recognition of our work and our efforts. So it's a really awesome aspect of this community. And if you're really interested in how reward systems work, what it's like to manage a reward system within a community like this, this is a working group that would be very interesting to join for you. So I highly encourage anybody who is interested in reward systems and or how the quantification process works. This is a really great place to start. And please do reach out to Mitch. He's at Divine Comedian within the Discord handle. So please do engage with that. These are some of examples of what our praise looks like. So when you give out praise, you want to make sure that you dish praise, say praise at whoever it may be, and be very specific about what you're praising them for. This helps the quantifiers actually quantify this correctly and making sure that we have accurate distributions of reward based on the impact of that particular action. And so always set a good example when it comes to dishing praise, whether verbally or within our praise channel. So just make sure you're very specific about what you're praising for, and making sure that you're not including too many people within a single praise. So I appreciate the rewards group for putting that together. We do have our Token Engineering Academy here. Is Angie still here? Or Patty? Nope. Okay, so I will take that as well. So Token Engineering Academy is up to a lot of amazing things right now. We're about to have the Token Engineering Academy launch. This birthday has already passed, and these need to be updated. But what I will say is that the launch of the TE fundamentals is upcoming. There's a new Token Engineering Discord server. If you do not have the link to the new Token Engineering Academy, please reach out to me. I'll send it to you. They have study groups from all over the world right now participating in the first module of the TE Fundamentals course. So if you get an opportunity and you're interested in taking this course, please do join a study group, get involved. You'll have early access, and then the full course will be released in October. So praise to Angela and Patty and Angie for all their work that they've been doing over there at the TE Academy, as well as General Magic and everybody in the background who's making it work. So please get involved there. With that being said, that is the end of community call number 96. So I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and I hope that you have an incredible week.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nate.
Bye.
Thanks,
everybody.
everyone.
Bye.